A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and skin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone.
Geez, I couldn't hear that intro at all. Not sure if everyone else could hear it, but hello from Bali. There we go. Got my little drink ready to go. Hope everyone's doing well on this Monday night. I don't have any idea if this is going to come through clear at all. It's a bit jittery on my end, so hopefully that's not reflected on your end wherever you're watching. But we'll do our best to get our way through this. But EJ, how are you, mate?
Salamat malam. Yes, it's coming through. It means good evening. It's coming through loud and clear, crystal clear. So, yes,
Very good. As long as I'm not stuttering on everyone else's end, we'll make it work.
No. A really strong performance to discuss from the weekend. Very pleasing.
Agree. Dan, very good question. Any North Melbourne players there? I like that. CB, how are you, mate? Welcome.
Good, thank you, mate. Good. I'll just, I don't know any Fijian, so I won't try and even be witty. Hello.
That is so racist to not even get the nation right.
Oh.
Yeah, I have borrowed EJ's robe for this occasion.
Yeah, you've got me there. Good. Flying. Doing as well as Patrick Dangerfield on a bench eating a suvo. There you go.
Oh, tell you what, every time I got Wi-Fi, my alerts were going ballistic from that trail between everyone else who's piled in. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well, yeah, I haven't got any notes or an agenda written, so we'll just start from the top. Not a bad game against the Pies. I'm just trying to find the actual scoreline on my phone here, but it was, where were we? If I was any organised,
yes, you should have said
57-93, lost by 36 points. But I tell you what, and I think I saw this as a bit of a trend with a lot of posts on socials, that you couldn't walk away from that disappointed as a Richmond supporter. If we're talking about effort, intensity, ball movement intent and things like that over the course of 4 quarters, I think we really got that in spades, EJ. I was pretty impressed with what I saw. Given they're a top side, they showed their class. And yeah, I thought we held our own for large chunks of it.
Yeah, we did. We've probably got a couple of people to thank for that in the main, but I thought it was going to be one of those performances where we hung tough like we did in the first half. Then we got blown away and we go, oh, yeah, well, 10, 12 goals wasn't that bad. We showed some good signs, etc. But we held together really well. There were some really nice passages of movement from us. You can see we don't have the skill level of Collingwood, but you can see the way we're trying to move the ball now. I mean, we're not going to sit here and bash other clubs, although we might a little bit, but about their development, you can see our future really clearly. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Was the takeaway, wasn't it, CB? That there was a couple of other games this round just gone where the sides in the bottom 4 just quite literally rolled over and got belted shamelessly. And I think a lot of people thought that was going to be what our back half of the season looked like. So it's testament to the players, the coaches, everyone involved to still put up a fight like that against a quality opponent.
I think we're going to be a tricky little matchup for the rest of the year. I don't think we're going to lie down and die like maybe we would have in previous years. And it's a good performance when, like, even the big footy board, everybody was in agreement that it was a solid performance. Like, there was no dissenters in the autopsy threads or anything. So everybody seemed on the same page to say, hey, we're actually going okay. Like, that was a pretty credible effort. So, no, I think, look, we're up against it against GWS, who are, Gold Coast this weekend, who are going to be, they're going to be a little bit stung in the tail from us getting them only recently. And, they're going to have a point to prove this weekend. But hopefully, again, all we're asking for is competitive effort. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, exactly right. Welcome to Black and White United. Appreciate you dropping by. It's interesting to hear you say that felt closer than 36 points as a Collingwood supporter. There was definitely times, EJ, where the only thing I was probably disappointed with is I felt we'd left a few goals on the table that maybe could have made that margin somewhere in the 20s even. Just a couple of easy goals. I mean, I say easy, it was pretty average conditions. The ball would have been a bit slippery. But over the course of 4 quarters, I mean, were there any lows for you, or if not, what were the main highlights for you? Whether it's individually, collectively, whatever it might be.
No, there's no lows, would you say, we had our chances? So did they. They kicked a lot of points. Some of the goals they did kick though. That Daicos goes all right. I think we went with him for about 5 minutes at the start of the second quarter with Ross, but as Uze said after the game, he goes, we're in the learning phase and we need to teach them the structures and the shape and etc. He's really hard to stop anyway, and we didn't want to sacrifice what we're building to worry about the other side so much. So I like how he explained why we didn't go the hard tag. I think that Daicos is a special case compared to most people. I'll let CB talk to what his impact was at what he saw at the ground. Look, the clear highlight for me was Nick Vlastuin. I don't even know where to start. 25 possessions, 8th highest rated player in the AFL for the round, easily the 2nd highest rated player on the ground behind Daicos. 472 metres game, 14 contested possessions, 17 intercept possessions. That's the highest number in the AFL this year. 7 marks, 4 intercept marks. If we didn't have Vlastuin and Broad down back, it wouldn't have been a 6-goal loss. They were enormous, but Tigger particularly so. Other positives, Hops carried the load without Taranto in there. Meatball had a really good game, and Sonzi had a really good game. I almost put something in our chat in the first quarter. There was a couple of efforts, and I've gone, oh no. After what he built last week with a really good performance, I thought maybe that the high-pressure opponent is going to bring him undone. But towards the end of the first quarter and for the rest of the game, he really settled in well. Wasn't a perfect game, but he cracked in really hard. His pressure numbers were good. He was top 5 for us for pressure acts. And what CB and I were talking about during the day today was he kept his width really well on the wing. And if you notice how many times he was used as the outlet, as the connector, they were looking for him because they know his disposal is so good. So it was really pleasing to see him back up after last week.
Agree. I think that was people wanting to see him do it against a quality side, and CB, he stepped up to the plate. I think he was our 2nd highest disposal getter as well. Not that that's the be-all and end-all, but it was good he was able to accumulate the ball again and use it wisely.
Look, surprisingly, we only spoke about 5 minutes on the footy, and EJ spoke just praising Donald Trump on tariffs and foreign policy for about 40 minutes, and I just couldn't shut the man up. But look, in the football conversations that we had, the other thing was I've actually distracted myself there with that stupid joke. Nick Daicos. Nick Daicos is the player that we hope Taj Hotton becomes. Because I tell you now, he was a class above anything else on the field on Sunday. He was clean when it was wet, clean when it was dry. He was lacing blokes. He must have set up about 4 or 5 goals and kicked 3 himself. He's a freak show. And Collingwood should be they're so blessed to have a guy like that run around. And we know that with Dusty and a few others. When you get those players, they're special. And I'll lead that on to our boy Taj Hotton, who I just mentioned. His best game for us. I thought this was the best one out of the 3 so far. and just looks a play. And he was clean. Taj Hotton was clean. And we were spewing. EJ and I were saying that play we had the free kick against him for contact below the knees on steel side bottom. He's got the ball, sprung up, and he's out. And Christ knows what that play was going to be. And the umpires pulled it back and given a free kick to steel side bottom. But, geez, I think we have an absolute steal there at where we got him. He looks wonderful. So to the recruiting team, thank Christ you got this kid because he looks brilliant.
How was his contested mark in the goal square, EJ? He just flew amongst some of the bigs down there and took a nice grab and kick truly. And just his desperation around the ground, I thought, was a standout too. He's going to be a special player.
Just a quick one. The point's been made there from Dan Bailey. His comments flicked up. He goes, we made a mistake not tagging him. We actually tried to tag him in the second, and the kid was running that hot that we just threw up our hands in the air and just let him go. There was no point tagging Nick Daicos. We tried, and we had no one to go with him. So, sorry, Edge.
Yeah, what I loved about that mark in the goal square, if you look at the way he comes in and he used his body to gain the elevation, it was just really, it was a mature, clever decision. Like, that's just the smarts that you either got or you don't. I don't know, something's funny in the... Oh, okay, yes, I've just seen that. Yes, I'm not going to ask comment on that.
I'm going full. What's his name? Who's that English actor I love? What's his name? He was in Peaky Blinders and in Mobland. He was mad.
Tom Hardy.
When he's in doing Mad Max, see that's bait. Zoot's trying to bait me.
And I just want to. I mentioned this guy to CB today. I want to put a shout out to young Sims. You're not going to look at his game and you're not going to see massive stats or anything like that. But Darcy Cameron's a bloody good ruckman. He, as giving a chop out to Nag, was quite happy to bang in. He made an effort around the ground. We know he's a little while off, but I think he's playing above what you would expect a first-year ruck to play. I thought he was solid from a competition point of view on the weekend, and I really noticed him.
Yep, I'd agree.
Yeah, I thought he did good. Nice that he got a goal as well.
Well, that's an interesting one too. If Trainer and Alger had been able to kick those goals, we would have had 5 first-year players kick goals against Collingwood on the weekend. So that would have been a great little stat if they had been able to do that. Let's talk about all things Tyler Sonzi. Again, really pleasing to see Tyler back it up. Really pleasing. And what I saw on the ground was he's actually learning. He's playing the wing role correctly now, in that he's holding his width, and the team isn't afraid to go at him either. They're actually trying to hit him up and bring him into the play because of his disposal. So he played a really, really, really impressive game out on the wing. So
he just needs to pull the trigger slightly quicker.
Yep. But
that'll come. But to back up your point with Sonzi, right? He had 11 handball receives and 10 marks. That backs up that he was holding the shape and he was providing the option and as an outlet, and he was being used because when he's got the ball in hand, they trust him with his disposal. So I saw a couple of really good kicks go to him, and then him use the ball well coming out.
I'll go this far. If he plays another 2-3 weeks like this, I hope we do give him another contract.
Yeah.
And I'll also say this. He actually, and I don't mind Hugo. He looks better on the wing than Hugo to me, with how he plays it.
Well, this is what we were talking about today, right? We've had really good serviceable wingers. Like K-Mac's been a weapon for 10 years, right? Hugo runs his ass off or whatever. But when was the last time we had a skilled winger?
Yeah. Brandon Nelson.
Yeah, fair call.
Right? So you've got Hawthorn have got D'Ambrosio, Melbourne have got Langdon. Right? someone, and as RFC said earlier on, his numbers were great. I think he covered 13.8 Ks, most on the ground for us, right? So he can cover the ground. He's got great disposal. It lines up with what so many other clubs are doing on the wing. And Josh Daicos last year running up and down the wing for the Pies. We need that class outside. And it's exciting.
The other one too,
I like his game.
Just the other one too, with Taranto pulling out so late as well, massive credit to Camden McIntosh and Luke Traynor for being able to change their roles literally at the start of the game, and to bring Alger in, who I don't think he did the warm-up, to be honest. So with the conundrum that we got presented with just before the ball went up, fantastic. K-Mac was wonderful. For him to go in and for the boys to adjust and for us to be competitive in those areas was a credit to the coaching group and the players involved as well.
Noel Bolter up forward. I thought he actually provided a really good option most of the day. I thought he competed well. I think he got a goal. Maybe he could have done a bit better with pulling the trigger a little bit sooner to get the ball in there a fraction quicker. But as a makeshift variant for the time being, I thought he did okay in that spot, especially against Darcy Moore.
If you pause this screen right now, EJ's face and my face just said it all then when you were doing that.
Look, he did a really good job of nullifying Moore, but he's not a forward. He's not smart enough to be a forward. There were a few times there because he was doing some fantastic work up the ground too, dragging Moore up the ground, getting marks on the wing, etc. He's just not smart enough. When it turns around, he has to make a decision of where to kick it. God love him. He's a real. What saves him is his athleticism. Like, he's an incredible athletic beast, and he's competitive and he loves it. But he's not the long-term answer up forward. He'll do for a couple of weeks.
I'm going to do a complete 180 where I thought we needed to sign Lynch for a year, but then he really pissed me off getting suspended for 5.
We need to sign Bolter for a year. Oh, hang on. He signed until 2056.
Yeah, but, however, I think what we saw on Sunday was we looked so much more dangerous and mobile having Bolter forward. A mobile forward with those two young blokes and the speed at which we're moving the ball now, we were chalk and cheese. You could not put Lynch. If you put Lynch back in that forward line, we go back half a step or probably a full step because we are slow and we're going to bomb it in again. We didn't kick it on Moore's head strategically because we had a quicker, more efficient forward line and it stood out at the ground. And Bolter, if we've got Young and Miller holding down the key positions and you've got Gibcus in the background holding up as well, ready, like he's finally starting hitting straps after 2 knees or a knee and a hammy, we've got an opportunity to do something with Bolter to buy us time until those big boys have got 2-3 years in them. And I'm not against switching Bolter next year as a key forward if we don't renew Lynch and we get more game, keep the game rolling into the kids around Bolter. I'm actually happy to do that.
I'd prefer to put Gibcus up forward because he's got a brain. But that's just
unfortunately we don't know that with his body. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed more than anyone's, that he can get through the next 4 weeks. I really hope to Christ he can get through them.
I think, though, the overarching point of the mobility factor, whether it's Bolter, whether it's Gibcus, whether it's Lafau, whoever it might be, I do agree, Seabear. I do think that we have looked better the last couple of weeks with that more mobile forward. It just takes out that predictability. Like, Lynch just isn't what he used to be, is he? Like, I didn't mind it.
We just look so much different and so much more mobile and dangerous with Bolter. Like I said, Lynch actually slows us down too much. He honestly does. So
Agreed.
I'm willing to roll the dice for the rest of the year to see what it looks like, to be honest. Lynch can finish the year in the reserves. I don't care.
I have a quiz for everyone in a minute, which has been provided to me via Nick and Peter Arakis. And it was posted by someone called Tiger Faithful. I'll have a quiz in a minute. But just before I do, I really like the way that Trezise has matured physically. Last year, you could see that he was going to be a player, but his body shape now, he's AFL hard and ready, and it's really noticeable. It was a really good 12-possession game.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, agree.
I have a quiz.
Yeah.
Right. As I said, from Tiger Faithful via Peter and Nick Rarakis. Right. We have 2 players here, and I'm going to give you some stats for both players, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Player A, since 2017, has 1,301 intercepts, 427 marks. So that's 1,301 intercepts and 427 marks. Player B has 1,308 intercepts and 455 intercept marks. So 1,308 and 455 versus 1,301 and 427. Player A and player B, how many All-Australians each do they have?
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna guess. I haven't seen this, but I'm gonna guess one is Nick Vlastuin, one is Tom Stewart, and one's got 5 AAs and one's got 0.
You are correct.
There you go.
Well done, CB.
Is that obvious?
Right. So
that's staggering, isn't it?
More intercept marks, more intercepts, and no All-Australians.
But 3 premierships.
Yes. Well, you know what? He's got 3 premierships. But this leads me to just a quick I was going to use a big word then, but I won't. A quick couple of seconds on the All-Australian side, right? You look at the backs they pick, and they always pick the flashy runners like Sinclair and Dale and Wang Ning, whatever. And that's fine, but you've got to pick someone who actually defends. And I really, really hope that for 1 year, they actually pick a side which has balance and isn't about 6 or 4, 2 key backs and 4 attacking backs. And I hope they pick someone who is actually doing defensive work and he gets his due.
Hope so.
Agree. I like this stat from Jaden too. I did see this the other day, that the average goal experience for us was 30 and Collingwood 174. Just goes to show how young our forward line has been. But I on the forward line, I actually thought Jonty Hall had another really good game. Had a couple of tough shots on the boundary, but I thought he presented really well. Obviously got a nice little goal out the back, I think it was, from a Morris handball. But yeah, he's been super impressive for a first-year player. I never said it before, but to play the role and what he's meant to be doing, I'm really excited to see what he becomes, even next year, just with that full pre-season under his belt, bit more understanding of the system, and hopefully we develop as a team. Yeah, I really liked Jonty as well. I thought he was good.
Yeah, agree. I think, to be honest, I saw a thing there earlier on Mansell, and they're saying, Mansell looks tired. Mansell took Maynard out of the equation on the weekend. He had a big ask and did a really, really good job on Mansell and got a bit of the ball himself. And took Maynard out. And if you look at his last 2 weeks, it's probably been season best game. So I don't think he's tired. He's, if anything, he's actually starting to, after his suspension, he's starting to find some form. Is how I read Mansell's game.
Morris Jr. laying some more tackles again, EJ. Didn't get a big game on disposal numbers, but I thought from impact around the contest, he had like another 80-odd metre chase just running the length of the ground. I don't think he got there this time, but again, I thought it was pretty pivotal to causing a bit of panic and chaos amongst the Pies players.
Yeah, a couple of rundowns which were successful, one that wasn't. I think his time in the twos, he's figured out what he needs to do. He doesn't need to have 20, just 10 to 15.
They're effective though, aren't they? Like he's actually hitting his targets and making them count.
Yeah, and the other thing is that the opposition now have to think, where is he? So it's going to hurry their decision making, which will lead to errors, etc., etc. And I reckon the other small forwards like Mansell on that lift when he's around, the players lift when he's chasing, because everyone
100%.
knows that if he's putting in the effort, I've got to put the effort in as well. I just moved into the unit next door to you as well, by the way.
Yeah, and I just saw that. You
Yeah.
just moved in next door. And to Nicole's point here, and I think this is a really good byproduct of what Morris does, is that it inspires the other players to put in as much or more effort in their own chases. So I think as a collective, we get more out of it with Morris doing what he does. So very happy with him. The other one I want to ask you guys about, Ben Miller. Is it just me, or is his kicking gone to a new level? Some of the passes
Yeah.
he's taking off
Yeah.
and hitting he's come a long way, even just this year, I reckon, EJ.
I reckon I will slightly take a different angle on this, and I will say his decision making has gone to another level. Because earlier in the season, I was really critical about him failing to pull the trigger. I don't know why, because he is a good kick, and making that decision and making the kick early, that's what you get as a result, because he is a good kick. And so that's, exactly that. His kicking's always been great, but if you pause and you let the opposition set up, you can't display that. He pulls the trigger, a la Brown, and bang, you're away.
Well, that's the one thing we've started doing in the last month as well. We're actually hitting that inside 45 kick.
Yep.
We're actually taking the game on and trying to take to the middle and actually risking that kick, and it's paying dividends. So, again, credit to the coaching staff to be actually change the game. And maybe it was always the plan. Maybe they thought, with our experience, go down the line in the first half of the year and then bring this shit in. I don't know. But I'm glad they're doing it and they're hitting it, and it's making a hell of a difference.
What was interesting, and I think we spoke about this the other week, that what I was keen to see is how it would look this time against a top four side when we had confidence versus when we played top four teams like Adelaide Bulldogs, they're not top four, but they're top 8 or whatever, and Geelong, where we just weren't able to or couldn't take off that 45-degree kick. But then we have 2 wins in a row, get some confidence up, and we were playing it pretty well against Collingwood. I know they defended it well and they hit us on turnover a couple of times, but I thought our ability to execute what we wanted to do against a quality team was far better than it had been even a month prior.
Great. Yep.
Everyone's agreed.
What was that?
Yeah, everyone's agreed, and it just fell into an awkward silence. So
I thought my screen froze. Steely Green, gents. I thought it was a really good return from Steely Green. A couple of goals. I feel like he actually carried on his VFL form after kicking multiple goals in multiple weeks. And we all said that was kind of what was missing from his game and why he probably got dropped in the first place. A good return, a great courageous. Well, I don't know if it was a pay to mark or a free kick when he got tunnelled. And then what was almost it could be one of the goals of the year on the boundary. I thought he had a super game, CB, for his first hit out back, again, against a quality opposition.
That goal he kicked on the boundary line, right in front of me. We were right behind that one. When he's flushed it, we were like, shit, that doesn't look like it's missing. And it just went straight through the hey diddle diddle. He holds his... Look, I'd imagine there's 2 changes this week, obviously with Seth Campbell and Taranto to come in. I think Green holds his spot. And trainer in Uze's presser, trainer's been battling a hip complaint of recent times. So maybe
is that
he
right?
could do.
Okay.
Yeah, he could do with it. Maybe he's due for a spell. Maybe they could just rest him for a week and let him. He's had a big year. He's had a fantastic year. Might be nice to give him just a breather, rest the kid up.
This is an interesting stat from OJ, and this was sort of put out a little bit on the socials. That over the last 6 weeks, EJ, we've been rated one of the best sides of transition football from back to forward half. It's nice to hear something like that going well. If it's not something they've been working on, but to see it happen consistently against some good opposition along the way is always nice to see.
Yeah, 100%. I think we just needed the base to work off before we were allowed to pull the trigger, so to speak. So we've been building through the year. So I almost think like we hadn't learnt enough at the start of the year to make the choices. And as we've developed, they've sort of said, right, okay, now you can do this. I've lost the train of thought. Yeah, now you can. Okay, now let's do this. Now let's do that. Now, if this happens, let's do this. Yeah, and it's, again, like you said, I was really wondering what would happen against a good opposition, and we still took the kick. So, brilliant. Yeah. So, I think you get another off-season, train the system, etc., etc. We've got the development of a bunch of kids. It's going to be really exciting watching this team going forward.
Just curious with Dave Bruce Twentyman, give Taj a rest. He's had 12 months off. He's played 7 games of football. I don't think you're resting him anytime soon, mate. We're getting as many games into the kid as we can so he learns and fast tracks his development. He ain't going anywhere.
No, I'm keeping him in. I'll ask you a slightly controversial one. It's not about, well, it sort of relates to Richmond player, but how did Mihocek not get a week? Wasn't that?
That was going to come up and come on, man.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, that's all right. No, let's talk about it because I wrote some notes.
Oh, roll in to come on, man. Because
no, it's all right. It's all right.
I can't understand how that happened.
Right. So the difference is that the guy that Mansell pushed got knocked out. Vlastuin didn't get knocked out. The actual push was almost identical. So now let's get the sheet out. Let me go to the gradings. Mansell was graded rough conduct, careless, high contact, severe impact. Mihocek was graded body contact, careless, and low impact. It's the gradings in that silly grid that have us where we are. Gary Lyon on 360 was pretty upset about this tonight. He's going like...
should be, because wasn't the Mansell one... the Mansell one when it happened, all the talk was about outlawing the action.
Yes.
So the outcome should be irrelevant.
Yes.
Like we've always said, there should be a baseline for the action. And then if they do get knocked out, then you get loading on top and you get a longer sentence. But it should be at least, let's call it 2, for doing the action that's dangerous. They want to outlaw, and then, injury afterwards. You get 3 for a concussion, 3 extra. Yeah, I don't know. It just blows my... No wonder no one knows what's going on.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw that he only got the fine, I went, right, I need to write this down. The actual differences in the gradings. It's an absolute disgrace. And look, no, you know what? In this case, I don't think the Collingwood angle's got anything to do with it. This is just
incompetent.
Chriso does what the AFL says. He grades it how the AFL want it to be graded. It's a puppet. It's a token position. So he just has to sit there and explain it when people go, oh, why did you do this different to this? Oh, well, in this case, it's just the AFL. That's what it is. It's not Michael Christian.
Yeah. Crazy. We'll quickly do a VFL update before we get into Come On Man. So the Tigers, we had a 46-point win against Werribee, 15-9-99 to 7-11-53. And we had, I think, Gibcus, if I remember correctly. I'm just checking my stats here. Gibcus kicked a goal, which was interesting. Got a 50-metre penalty, I think, and wandered up and kicked one. But he had 11 disposals, 3 marks. He's easing into it. Harry Armstrong had 2 goals, which was a good return from him, 2 marks. I think he did his damage in the first quarter, though, so I'm not sure if he was on managed minutes or not.
Managed minutes, got 2 goals in the first. But again, from the track watchers at the ground, again, his body shape's changed a little bit again. And he got into the game a little bit, took a couple of good pack marks. They said he looked really good. The real big news was Gibcus. They said he's finally starting to dash. He's crashing packs. They said he's starting to look like the Gibcus of old, and his disposal was very good, what he did do. So, and Jacob,
I did see bits and pieces of him. I saw bits and pieces of Gibcus playing in the ruck as well.
It's we didn't have many AFL listed players playing on the weekend, so hopefully they get a couple back. They might get, and can you tell us, because you sent us a little bit of mail during the week on Mcauliffe, so you knew he wasn't playing.
I'm not speaking now.
Was it a tweak or was it something more?
I didn't get full word on what it was. Just that he had re-injured the quad was what I had been told. And the club's had a little bit of history with not telling the news like that until the injury report, whereas some clubs will say, "Oh, unfortunately, Mcauliffe not playing due to X, Y, and Z." But you had heard that he had re-injured it from someone who has been pretty reliable with stuff. I guess we'll have to wait until the injury report from the club. But
And
yeah,
Smiley,
I don't know the extent,
Yeah.
but it would be shit if true and if it's bad.
Smiley, if he gets through this week of training, will be in. He'll be playing.
Yes, minutes.
So is he playing VFL this week? Is that
Yes.
what they're saying down there?
Yes.
If he gets through training this week, yes.
If he gets through training this week, he'll be playing minutes this weekend.
That's right, because I think, didn't they say a couple of weeks ago, because the VFL and AFL are both playing up in Gold Coast, like it's
Yes.
another whole club trip or something or other?
The club is going away. Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay, interesting. That's good. So are we saying Armstrong another 1 or 2 games? We might see him come back into AFL for the last 1 or 2 if form permits.
Don't know. Let's just hope he gets through the next 2 and starts showing a bit of form. That's at the moment. These guys just let's get some game time into them, and then what happens after that happens.
And it's interesting because there's also, I guess, one eye on the VFL side of things with their finals aspirations as well. So there's going to be some quality players running around there in this last month of football for them and maybe beyond. So hopefully they can have a fair crack at it. But no, it'd be good to see Josh Smiley. I guess it's going to be all eyes on Smiley as well, isn't it, in terms of his body shape and physique, and if that's changed, like what you've all seen with Harry Armstrong and what Sam Law looked like too. Just
hopefully the kid gets through it, gets a few touches. That's all I'm asking. No big expectation. Just get through the game.
Just get through the game. Before we do come on, man, there was a stat. I think it might have popped up in the chat, so I'm just referring to my phone. This is from the Tail, that in terms of last year's draftees, Taj Hotton, when I say draftees, I mean competition-wide, Taj Hotton, albeit off 3 games, actually has the highest player rating average of 9.7. Murphy Reed's second. He's obviously played a lot more games, so it's a lot more difficult for him to hold the rating of 9.43. And Sammy Lawler, if Sam Lawler hadn't played that Geelong game, because he only played 3 minutes of it, then he would have been second or first. So we'd have 1 and 2 in terms of the player ratings for the draftees, which is pretty exciting. So feels like that we're still ticking some good boxes in that space. The Harley stuff's gone quiet. It sounds like you might sign, if we're listening to the media correctly, on giant money. Are we now still happy to hit the draft again with 2 picks, or would you want to try and explore another option?
I would rather than blow $2 million on a bloke for more than Dusty money, who isn't Dusty. I would rather just hit the draft and get another 2. Maybe get another Lawler and Hotton type in. Because I know everyone goes, weak draft because of the academies, blah, blah, blah. You can't tell me there's not 50, 60 good kids out there playing, or even in the waffle and sandful and things. I mean, look at Harry Scott, for example. You're telling me you wouldn't take him if he nominates for the draft? Or so there's good kids out there, and I'm sure.
Well, I'll tell you who I would pay $2 million for. Wangan Malira, I'd pay some money for. He's a good player.
Oh, lol, Melbourne. The most Melbourne-y thing I've ever seen in my life.
Just caught up on that. I only just caught up on what happened last night. I watched the last 2 minutes. What were they doing? Was that not just the dumbest 2 minutes of football you've ever seen in your life from a club?
It's up there. I mean, we previously held the record for the worst 8 seconds in football. I'm pretty certain that the D's now have the mantle.
What was funny about that last centre bounce with the 6-6-6 is they had the extra player in their forward line, so they weren't even doing that correctly because they're trying to defend the lead. It just blew my mind. But anyway, I'm not going to run the risk of trying to run the audio for Come On Man in case the Wi-Fi shits itself. But EJ, if you've got "Come On Man" ready, feel free to fire away. Maybe CB can give us a "Come on, man" every time.
Right, I've got a couple of because you wouldn't have done the graphics, so we've got to add this in next week, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So there's a couple of honourable mentions. Number one is the Richmond Football Club.
Oh,
now,
okay.
a couple of weeks ago on this very show, I ran with a background of a pop singer, and I quoted the first verse of the song, "The Future's So Bright, We've Got to Wear Shades." I studied nuclear science, went to all my classes, blah, blah, blah. Well, Richmond Football Club has put out a tweet, "The future's so bright, we've got to wear shades." That's proof that they watched this show. Come on, man.
Be better, Richmond. Be better.
Give me a spell. Now, I do believe that CB also has a honourable mention.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I may have put a tweet out that got a little bit feisty. I'm just going to say this. I'd imagine most people have heard the expression, "You should punch up, not punch down." And Patrick Dangerfield, talk about the epitome and representation of that club with the arrogance. And I understand if some people go, "Oh, you've been a bit of a wowzer. He was just eating a kebab after a game." No, I've never seen anyone with that arrogance do that wait your 50 minutes and do it behind the scenes. Don't be a smartass, because we all got the reference, the Bomber Thompson reference, noshing on a kebab during a game. And it's a terrible look. And North Melbourne are clearly, I know we're death riding them, right? They're clearly in a world of hurt.
Here we are.
Yeah. But they're in a world of hurt. And that was so disrespectful and bullshit. That's like Shea Bolton showing the ball to that Carlton supporter before he puts it through the goals. Like, it's just a level of smart arsery that you don't want to go down. And if a Richmond player did that...
I have a question. If he got subbed off and it was against Collingwood, would he be eating a kebab?
My next point. He picks low-hanging fruit to do it against, like, North Melbourne, right? Do you reckon he's got the balls to start noshing on a kebab halfway through the third quarter against a Carlton or a Collingwood or a West Coast or an Adelaide, teams with a big feral supporter base? No way in hell. He's weak as piss and gutless doing that on a small club and picked his target well. So, it doesn't sit well with me. And you can call me a wowzer. I really don't care. I've got my principles and my values, and I'd be furious. If Richmond did that, I'd be bloody furious. So, shit look for a shit club.
There you go.
Rightio, fair
enough.
enough.
That can't be true. Surely not. If that's true, Tubby Josh, that is unbelievable.
David Rose in the comments. David Rose in the comments. Sorry.
Was Tom Morris in for a nomination for his Charlie Kerno reporting?
No.
Apparently, because he was the one, I know it's not Richmond related, but he was going really hard at Kerno exploring other options and Carlton having to tell him that he can't go anywhere, but apparently Kerno and his management come out and said he's never been up for trade whatsoever. He's never asked.
I stand in the Tom Morris camp, I've got to say.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yes, I've heard a few whispers around. I'm more likely to believe Tom Morris than a player manager. I don't think this is finished. I don't think it's finished yet.
There you go.
I like it. All right. Well, any other nominees, or is there a winner this week, EJ?
No, there's a winner. There's a winner. But first of all, David Rose in the comments calling me the fat controller. You're not going anywhere, David, you big pillock.
Very good.
Imagine calling me the fat controller. What's going on there? Right. But this week's nomination, and you need to add this into the thing, right? Fair enough. We're just a humble little podcast on a Monday night with low IQ panel members like CB who can't spell the name Vlastuin. That's fine.
Fixed it this week, though, didn't I? Fixed it.
right? That's okay. That's okay. Because CB is volunteering his time, and, we thank him for that. CB is not employed by afl.com.au. Josh Gabalich is employed by afl.com.au. Now, CB, being a simpleton that he is, managed to maybe just move the U around from the back of the name to the start of the name, and that's an understandable mistake. CB didn't invent a letter and insert it into the name. So, in the best player for Richmond this week, so he's actually watching the game, and so he's on the AFL.com website looking at the stats and getting the things. The best player for Richmond this week, according to Josh Gabalich of AFL.com.au, is Vlastuin. VLAU in the wrong position, STON.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're a paid employee of the AFL.
Oh, dear.
Mate, the O is silent. Everybody knows this.
So not only did he insert a letter that wasn't there, he still put the U in the wrong spot.
He's doubled down.
David Harris, no, we don't get paid for this. But if you know of a sponsor that wants to throw money our way, we'll give them some love, mate. You throw us something their way, mate. Let's go.
Oh, look, I
can't believe I didn't realise he actually put two wrong letter, or a wrong letter and a misplaced letter as well. That's that is something else.
Yeah, actually,
all right,
actually there is something else that I didn't write it down on my list, but it's true. Tom Morris calling Dersma a key player was very amusing.
Yeah.
That's
how bad the injury crisis.
That's like calling CB a key player of this podcast.
That's how bad. That's how bad. Essendon injury crisis is. Dersma's now a key player. That's how bad it is.
Anyway, sorry. Let's go.
That was a good clip, EJ. That was pretty good. Well, we've got the Gold Coast Suns this week, and it's back up on their home deck. And I feel like they might be a little bit pissed off after losing to us last time at Marvel. But before we talk about the game itself, what do we expect the ins and outs to be? I think obviously Seth Campbell will be available after concussion protocol. Is Lynch available yet? Or is it this week or next week for Lynch?
No, it's fine.
Following week. Okay, so and Taranto obviously with the laid out. They didn't fully commit to him being available in the press conference. From what I saw, was basically that they were going to hope that it would just be this week and see.
Awareness.
Where do you both sit with the changes? Awareness, awareness.
Look, I think Seth for Alga. I think Steely deserves to hold his spot, and possibly maybe give Trainer just a week off, saving the trip up, freshen him up.
Trainer for Taranto.
Yep.
Yeah. If Taranto is fit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. CB, your changes?
I agree. I think if Taranto's fit, it's Taranto Campbell in, and it will be Alga and Trainer out.
Jaden Kerrs brought up a great point. Might be the reason Vlastuin might not be AA. Nobody knows his name. He's been nominated, but every time it's spelled differently, it gets into a different nomination.
So, look, I just think they're looking for continuity in the team as much as they can. And the funny thing is, we talk Dimmer's big boy month. Gold Coast have won 3 out of 4 in big boy month. So they're going pretty bloody good. And I think they've got a tough game after us. So they're really going to want to bank these points. And unfortunately, I think their tails are up. We're going okay. But they've just got more class through the lines. And they just do. It's just where the lists are at. and there's no shame in admitting that. So unfortunately, I just think, yeah, they're gonna have too much through the midfield, and they're going to be pretty bloody slick. Go Edge.
Jones Racing provides an excellent point, and I completely missed this because I tried to do the All-Australian team.
Oh.
What hope has he got when the AFL website says pick your All-Australian team, and Vlastuin isn't one of the backs that you're allowed to select?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Jeez. It's true. It's true.
Oh, well,
it's true.
That
anyway,
I think crazy.
Yeah, I think, as we know, when Dimmer was our coach, he doesn't often lose twice to the same team in a year. I think there's a lot of pent up frustration that's coming our way.
Yep,
it's a genuine danger game in the sense of the 100-point margin that we're trying to desperately stay under and not have a 100-point loss for the year. Our midfield, as a few people have noted, our midfield tend to match up okay against theirs for whatever the reason. It did show at Marvel, in the Marvel game. But they do have some other classy players around the ground. Where I think we might come unstuck, I think we defend really well. Again, I think we've got the right matchups for King and whoever their other forwards are. I just don't know how we're going to kick a big enough score again to beat him. And I don't think we can defend that well across 4 quarters against a side who's going to have that many inside 50s.
And I also think that their midfield is humming a hell of a lot better than what it was earlier in the season. I think Rao might be my favourite non-Richmond player at the moment. He is in absolute beast mode. Anderson is ripping it up. They are really good in the guts. So for us, it'll be getting our hands on the ball. Giving us a chance to get it forward and set up.
That outside speed they've got, and you think about even their half-forward line of Bailey, Humphreys and Ainsworth and those guys, they've got a lot of skill and pace on every line. Ben Long is absolutely flying.
He's a good player.
They've got some serious weapons in the mid and forward, and the defence is rock solid. So
it's a good point from Nicolay, though. That we all thought last week was going to be ugly too against the Pies, and it turned out okay.
Yeah, our form in the for the bottom 10. We're not the third worst team in that section of the ladder. There's no way. This team's worse than us. We're bloody going okay. It's just unfortunately we're up against a team that's going better, and they're up the other end of the ladder. So yeah.
The other problem with that is, to make it worse, is the teams in the 8, like the whole of the 8, still need to keep winning because the spots aren't locked. So they're all fighting for top 4 and top 2. So every game is desperate for them. So I don't like the chances of them not being on. With Bolter in the side permanently now, which is good to have him back, obviously, and the job he did on King last time at Marvel. Do you look to send Bolter back to play on King? And then if so, what are the repercussions to Young or Miller?
No.
Or do you hand it to Young or Miller?
Point of logic, why would you change your back 6 that's working?
Yeah, put Miller on King. He'll be right.
Yeah, I was thinking more because of the job that Bolter did last time. Do you want him to do it again, or do you just entrust the next person in line? I'm okay with it.
Maybe you at least start. Maybe you at least start with him down there, and that'll really get into King's head.
Nah, you just again. I think what will be interesting is a smaller ground. Are we going to go that tall, or are we? So the flip side is, do one of the talls come out because it's a smaller ground, and does a guy like Armstrong come in who's a bit more smaller and mobile, and they work something out that way? Oh. So would you go with Armstrong for Bolter, with Bolter as the second ruck?
I think there's a couple of good points that have been made in the chat. Apparently Miller's pulled up a bit sore, which does not surprise me because he basically did the splits.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah. So there's that, which means that Bolter might be forced to play back.
Or Blight get a chance.
Yeah, maybe. The other issue for me is I reckon Nank is starting to look really sore, and Witts is absolutely flying at the moment. So I think the middle of the ground.
Do we roll the Hayes Brown? Oh, where's Hayes Brown? He didn't play last week. What happened to him?
He's injured as well. He was injured last weekend as well. He'll be back this week in the Rezzies.
Because you could have almost rolled the dice with him in a game.
Nah, I'm telling you.
Like we can't have.
We'll fucking walk it out.
I know you say he's not ready, and I don't disagree, but Sims is less ready, and he's going to be against Wits if Nate's not playing, and that's not good.
Sims is better around the ground.
Yep.
He's just not physically big enough just yet to do that in totality. But that's where maybe a Blight and Bolter will have to do some ruck work. If Nank's, what do you do? Because you got to look long term, don't you, with Nank? Like you want him. We need him around next year and the year after that. So if he's not fully right,
can you put CJR's comment up, please?
Hang on, I'm catching that.
I missed that.
This one. Neither a praise, just a nil all draw.
That's the message of the night.
Wow. So I just think structurally we're going to roll. We're going to roll with what we want, like last weekend's team. That's what we're rolling with. And it's going to be subtle changes in on injuries or what have you. That's where it's going to be in reality, I think.
And is there any part of the game, EJ, where you can see us getting a leg up? I'm not saying to get us a win, but is there a part of the ground where you can see us maybe breaking even or coming out ahead against the Suns?
Honestly, no.
No, it's just
no.
grit your teeth and hope for the best.
They're a good side, and they as CB said, they're coming into Big Boy Month. They're starting to flex their muscle. It's the dimmer blueprint to start getting strong at the end of the season. They're really starting. I mean, they did a number on Brisbane.
The thing that concerns me is the midfield battle. I can see us getting an absolute ass kicking in the middle this weekend. And if that happens, our backs are in for a nightmare 4 quarters. Okay. I can really, and that's not being disparaged. Like Hopper's been Dennis has been unbelievable this year, but he's gonna they're gonna be up against it in that midfield, really up against it.
I think from a speed perspective, we don't have anyone to go with Noah Anderson in the midfield, right?
Do we deploy Jack Ross from the get-go to someone?
Yeah.
To route. That's what I was bringing up. I think either Dennis or Jack Ross go to Rao and try and nullify that, because Rao gets it out to Anderson a lot, right? Yeah. We need to, if we've got any chance of staying within 10 goals, we've got to nullify it at the source. Might mean we give away a few free kicks, but I'd be putting either Dennis or Ross onto Rao.
Agree.
Yeah. It's hard to tag people who are winning clearances, though, isn't it? Like, Rao's down and dirty. It's actually a hard play to try and tag.
Yeah, he is. But, I mean, we've got to try something.
Great. Yeah. So definitely a robe. Just found it's the Grand Mirage robe. So I thought
You're in Noosa doing now, are you?
Yeah, we got here today. So hour drive. The traffic is absurd here.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't really realize how bad it can. I know we're getting sidetracked, but it can take you, as you would know, over an hour to go like 15 kilometers. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But all right. Well, with that all being said and done, what is the tip for this game, including margin? Send them through in the comments as well.
You go, Edge.
Gold Coast by 58 points.
Ooh, that one stung a bit. I'll say Gold. Look, it's Big Boy, or the end of Big Boy month. Gold Coast are going to want to clip us. I'll go 41 points.
I mean, I would take either of those two results, as bad as that sounds, given what they're playing for at the moment as well. I'll go Suns by 32. I don't know what the weather's meant to be like, but I'm just hoping that we carry on our good form and keep trying things, and maybe we match up well against them. But yeah, oh well, it's not. I think we're just being realistic, I guess, Jeff. It's no shame in admitting that you're playing against a good side. I'd rather everybody be honest and realistic than try and blow smoke up the team's ass when we're just not there yet. We might surprise again. We might surprise again, but we don't
Jeff,
need to win games at this time of the year to show progress and development like we sort of saw against Collingwood, which was good.
Just you want positivity. In a few weeks' time, I give us a shout against Geelong at the G. I don't think that's a lot. That's a lot more in the realms of possibility than what this game is, in my opinion.
I'll say this: just tune into next Monday night when we're going to be a little bit unhinged going into the St Kilda game. I think you'll find a different. And
also, I'm going to put it in here on the record now that thanks CB for turning up after a loss. That was much appreciated.
I was sick. I tell you.
Yeah, but I
did send a message.
I am putting in my leave request for next week now, as I have a work function.
Yeah, work function. Yeah, he doesn't want to turn up. He doesn't want to turn up.
And I've carried you all year. What are you talking about?
It'll be interesting how we go into the Gold Coast game, then rolling into St Kilda and North, which kind of start to feel like two winnable games or games that we should be really, really in and amongst. So hopefully we can keep playing at a good level and just it's all about building good habits, isn't it? Like against your Collingwood, your Gold Coast and whatever, it's just developing and building good habits of attacking football and just take the good with the bad.
100%.
Well, there you go. Rain forecast on Gold Coast for game day.
Lewis Scaramazino, left field, broad to Anderson. Sounds like an Ashes bowling change.
Yeah. Tune in, support the boys. We'll all be tuning in. We'll all be loving the boys. But we just got to respect the opposition when respect is due. Otherwise, we look like a bunch of flogs like Geelong supporters. We actually show respect where it's due.
And obviously get around the VFL. I don't know when the VFL what day they play, but I'll be trying to tune into that too.
They're playing just before, so you'll get a double header. So on the AFL app, you'll be
able to the same day.
FL.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, then it should be flipping in. So yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We'll tune into the VFL. Hopefully we see Josh Smiley running around. We'll see Harry Armstrong with some more minutes. Gibkiss building nicely. Well, hopefully we'll see some good stuff there and then roll into the AFL. But have a wonderful rest of the week, folks. EJ and CB, thanks for jumping on tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Jones Racing, probably not likely a live call because I think I'll still be here, but I don't think my Wi-Fi could handle doing that at this stage. But we'll see how we go. Have a wonderful rest of the rest of the week, folks, and we will see you all on next Monday night to talk about the St Kilda games. Until then, go Tigers.
Sampai jumpa, go Tigers.
Go Tigers and Grok. Where were you, mate? Where were you, Grok? Says.
Oh, throwing barbs. I like it.